Hi, my name is Tom Warner. I'm a librarian in the Best and Next department of the Enoch Pratt Free Library, here with a viewer's advisory for free movies you can stream through Canopy using your library card. Today I'd like to highlight one of the cult movies available to stream through Canopy, A Boy and His Dog. Be forewarned that despite its rather innocent title, this is a politically incorrect midnight movie kind of film for adults, one billed as an R-rated, rather kinky tale of survival. Based on the 1969 novella by Harlan Ellison and the inspiration for George Miller's The Road Warrior from 1981, A Boy and His Dog is set in the post-nuclear, post-apocalyptic future of 2024. Hey, that's just 4 years from now, where the pillars of survival on the Earth's barren, dirt-covered surface are food, weapons, and women. Canned goods are used as currency, and entertainment often consists of old porn reels screamed on 16mm projectors. The main characters are Vic, played by a young Don Johnson, a violent, illiterate scavenger principally interested in having sex. He communicates telepathically with this deceptively innocent-looking dog, Blood, voiced by Tim McIntyre, who also provided the music for the soundtrack. Vic finds food for Blood, while Blood sniffs out women for Vic. One of these girls is the sexy Quilla June, played by Suzanne Benton, who, unbeknownst to Vic, is a spy for an underground society called Topeka, headed by her father, Mr. Braddock, played by Jason Robards Jr. This subterranean civilization, deprived of natural sunlight and atmosphere, has grown barren and needs a virile surface dweller to reproduce, with the oversexed Vic selected to fill the bill. It was produced by character actor Alvy Moore, Mr. Kimball of TV's Green Acres, and was written and directed by another veteran actor, L.Q. Jones. Director L.Q. Jones, born Justice McQueen, he adopted the name of his character Private L.Q. Jones from Raoul Walsh's 1955 war film Battle Cry, was a casting favorite of director Sam Peckinpah, who found Jones's craggy-faced, rough-and-tough cowboy features a perfect fit for films like The Wild Bunch, The Ballad of Cable Hogue, and Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. In addition to all his Peckinpah and cowboy roles, L.Q. Jones was also cast as Robert De Niro's cowboy hat-wearing county commissioner nemesis Pat Webb in 1995's Casino, and Jones' last acting credit was as country crooner Chuck Akers in Robert Altman's A Prairie Home Companion. Now, Jones and actor Alvy Moore, who, as we said, was best known for his role as Hank Gimble on Green Acres, co-founded a production company called LQJAF, also known as L.Q. Jones and Friends, which produced 4 films and featured acting turns by Jones and fellow Peckinpah alumni Strother Martin and Jason Robards. A Boy and His Dog was their last production. You may never have seen A Boy and His Dog before, but in a way you already have, at least in pop cultural references. As mentioned before, it was the inspiration for George Miller's Mad Max follow-up, The Road Warrior, where its post-apocalyptic desert setting and world of civilized survivors battling rogue bands of looters and scavengers, and especially its lone wanderer protagonist, are obvious. Even Road Warrior's Lord Humongous, the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla, has his counterpart in A Boy and His Dog's similar outlaw leader, Fellini, played by Australian actor Ron Feinberg. Another post-apocalyptic movie, the Hughes brothers' The Book of Eli, starring Denzel Washington as the lone wanderer, winks at its predecessor by purposely featuring a poster for A Boy and His Dog on the wall. Finally, video gamers familiar with Fallout, a post-nuclear role-playing game released in 1997, will see the similarities of its junk towns, raiders, subterranean vaults, to A Boy and His Dog, not to mention the iconic Fallout Lone Wanderer character and his German shepherd, Dogmeat. Dogmeat was, of course, the nickname Vic gave Blood in A Boy and His Dog. And about that dog, Blood is really the hero of the film, and arguably its best actor. Blood is portrayed by a Cairn Terrier named Tiger, and voiced by actor, music composer Tim McIntyre. Tim, of course, made his film debut as James Stewart's son in Shenandoah, from 1965 and was a veteran TV actor, but is best known for his starring turn as 1950s disc jockey Alan Freed in 1978's American Hot Wax. James Cagney was actually considered for the voice of Blood before Tim McIntyre, but L.Q. Jones was afraid his voice was too famous. Tiger was rumored to be the same dog that appeared under the name Tiger on the Brady Bunch, but that Tiger was accidentally run over in Season 2 of the TV series, though the television series never let that on to fans. Tiger's performance was so good, L.Q. Jones seriously considered canvassing for him to get an Oscar nomination, with fans likening him to George Saunders in a fur coat. Tiger ended up with a Patsy, the Picture Animal Top Star of the Year award for outstanding animal acting in this film. But that was Tiger's high water mark. After winning a Patsy for A Boy and His Dog, Tiger's next major role was as the mere doggy in Van Nuys Boulevard from 1979. As for the rest of the cast, producer Alvy Moore also appears as Topeka committee member Dr. Moore, while veteran film noir tough guy actor Charles McGraw, who was in The Killers and The Narrow Margin, among many other credits, delightfully plays against type as a preacher, and director L.Q. Jones couldn't resist making an uncredited cameo as one of the actors in the black and white stag reel Vic and Blood watch at the movie camp. Oh, and as for Blood frequently calling Vic Albert, which is never explained in either the film or Harlan Ellison's novel, well, Danny Perry, in his book Cult Movies Volume 2, opines that it is a satirical reference to famous dog stories author Albert Payson Terhune. Despite its risque premise and the marketing nightmare it would have had on its hands if the original PG rating it received hadn't been overcome with an eventual R rating, A Boy and His Dog is a masterful and inventive example of low-budget American indie filmmaking. Jones and Moore got around their meager budget by shooting most of the film on the natural set of the Mojave Desert around Coyote Dry Lake in Barstow, California, with the Topeka underground scenes filmed at Pacific Ocean Park in Venice, California, where the silo tunnel sets were borrowed for the day from another film production. In addition to his small crew and cast, Jones enlisted most of Topeka's underground extras from a nearby Air Force base in Barstow. L.Q. Jones is to be further commended for writing the script. He offered those duties initially to Harlan Ellison himself, but Ellison at the time had a bad case of writer's block, and, with the shooting date looming, Jones took it upon himself to write the script, and acquitted himself quite well. He gave the dog Blood, who is really the hero of the movie, the best lines, lifting them almost verbatim from Ellison's novella. The notoriously cantankerous Ellison liked the end result, with one notable exception, the final line, which Jones changed. For years, Ellison fumed over the ending, calling it moronic, hateful, and chauvinist, which it is, of course, but it's also darkly humorous, and it totally works in the film, highlighting the special bond between man and dog that is at the core of the film. I mean, it's called A Boy and His Dog, after all. See what you think. It'll cost you nothing to find out. Just pull out your library card and log in to watch.